Hey, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Educational AD Podcast. Before we meet today's guest, we want to give our partners a shout out. We coach Vital Signs Wall of Fame, the Florida Coaches Coalition, and the Global Community of Women in High School Sports. You've heard me say many times that these are four great organizations. You should add them to your network. And now don't hit that fast forward button. Stay with us for the next 3 minutes. Listen to our sponsorship shout outs. These are all great companies you should be working with. I used them as an AD. You will enjoy them too. Here we go. We want to say thanks to Home Campus. Home Campus is the exclusive high school and state association information platform for the podcast. It's also your one stop for scheduling, student athlete eligibility and clearance, and a lot more. As an AD, I used Home Campus every single day, and it was just great. And the Home Campus people are great to work with too. To find out more, just go to homecampus.com. That's homecampus.com. We also want to say thanks to Gipper. Gipper is the official social media graphic solution for the podcast. And if you go to Gipper.com, their team is going to help you create professional sports graphics to help promote your athletes, your programs, your teams, even you in seconds. Mention the podcast, you'll get a nice discount. That's Gipper.com. Check them out today. We also want to say thanks to Huddle. Go to Huddle.com and change the way you see the game. As a football coach, I used Huddle for years, but when I became an athletic director, I made sure our school was a Huddle school, and you should be a Huddle school too. Go to Huddle.com. Check out the tools that they can give your coaches to help raise your athletes to their highest level. Join the 6 million users and find out how to turn your school into a Huddle school. We also want to say thanks to Vital Signs Wall of Fame. You know, they're on a mission to bring your school's legacy to life. Go to vitalsignswalloffame.com. Check out their great products. When you're ready to order, mention the podcast. You'll get a nice discount. Let them help you celebrate your school's diverse history and your proudest moments. That's vitalsignswalloffame.com. We want to thank Hometown Ticketing, digital ticketing that offers more. Whether it's more support, more security, or more customization, Hometown is here to make the best solution for you. Go to hometownticketing.com to get started. Simple and easy online ticketing. That's Hometown Ticketing. We also want to thank Sideline Interactive, indoor score tables and video boards. Go to sidelineinteractive.com and schedule a live web demo. See their tables and their boards in action. Probably one of the best purchases I ever made. That's sidelineinteractive.com. Check them out today. We also want to say thanks to District 1. Go to District 1, that's WON.com. You're going to feel like you've won when you see their great custom uniforms, their online shipping, on-time shipping, and their one-at-a-time replacement program. You'll never have to order a full set when you just need one or two replacements. Go to District 1, that's WON.com. Check them out today. We also want to thank Snap Mobile. Go to snapraise.com. Check out their entire suite of platforms designed to help you do your job better. If you're looking for a fundraising platform, stop. SnapRaise is the best, hands down. But there's also Snap Store, Snap Manage, Snap Connect, and more. You'll find it all at snapraise.com. And we want to say thanks to Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack. If you've never used a survey to take the pulse of your parents or your student athletes, you really need to contact Athletic Surveys. Go to athleticsurveys.com. They're going to create a custom survey that lets you take the pulse of your parents and your student athletes. That's a tremendously valuable tool to have. You'll find it all at athleticsurveys.com. Check them out today. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Educational AD Podcast. We're going to Pennsylvania, Philadelphia today, and we're going to be visiting with Liz Denbigh. Liz is she's almost, she's waiting for the envelope. She's completed all the requirements to be an RAA through our national organization. She's also the athletics coordinator at the Shipley School in Philadelphia. got a coaching background behind her. We're going to hear more about that. But Elizabeth, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Jake. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, you and I connected recently, and very excited to get you on the show. As I shared with you, we've had a number of aspiring ADs, and in your position as an athletic coordinator, you mentioned that was kind of like an assistant AD. So we're excited to hear about your school and your career. So let's go and jump right into it. We always let our guests have an opportunity to share where they grew up. So give us the Liz Denbigh origin story.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually have a pretty interesting story and journey of how I kind of figured my way out into athletics. So I actually went to Shipley. I graduated in 2014. So proud alum. And after Shipley, I went off to Ithaca College, where I did Ithaca, New York, about 3.5 hours outside of Philly. So not too close, but not too far from home, which was nice. Um, was playing basketball there for a little bit and then ended up playing club, which was amazing. It was like 2 times a week. Still had some fun, but it was great. I loved club. I graduated in 2018 with a business admin major. And then right after college, I actually got a job in the fashion industry, which was really interesting and kind of not where I'd expected myself to go. But I worked there for a year. Really learned a lot about running businesses, and I was managing inventory. I was going to Fashion Week and selling their clothes there. So I was kind of doing a lot of everything. It was a small company, but a really, really important and good learning experience for me. After about a year in the fashion industry, I actually got a job in Texas, selling, like doing medical sales. And I want to take a month off to hang out with my friends and just enjoy my last couple months in Philly. And during that time, I actually tore my ACL. And it was on Halloween. I tore ACL, MCL, LCL, meniscus. It was a really, really bad injury. I was actually in a wheelchair for up to 2 months. So I had to postpone the Texas thing, started doing rehab, and I ended up having three surgeries from it. So it was a really tough recovery. So I kind of told the Texas job I had to take a break. I can't come out there right now. I got to get healthy. So didn't have a job. Was really rehabbing, and my coach actually from Shipley, where I played basketball and soccer at Shipley, reached out and asked if I had wanted to help him coach. So I was super interested. I was doing PT, then started coaching at Shipley a little bit. And then the athletics coordinator job had opened up at Shipley, and I wanted to give it a shot. I was pretty young. I didn't have much athletic experiences, but I was so used to helping in the business industry that I thought I had a chance. And as an alum, I think there's about 80 people who decided to apply, and they decided to give me a chance, and it was the best decision I've ever made, and I've not want to turn back since.
Well, I always love to hear the origin stories, and it's not that uncommon for someone who was not thinking about becoming an AD, but they get that exposure to coaching, coming back, and it's like drinking the Kool-Aid. They're immediately hooked. We've asked this question a number of times. I'm going to go and ask
Mhm.
it now. Coming back to the school that you graduated from, and,
Mhm.
and fairly quickly after high school. How was that? I'm sure a lot of your teachers and coaches were still there, and now you're not, Elizabeth Denbigh student. You're Liz Denbigh, athletic coordinator. How was that coming on board?
Yeah, no, I think it's really interesting because a lot of my teachers are still at Shipley. And it's funny because they always yell at me because I'm like, "Hey, Mr. So and so," and they're like, call me Andy," and I'm like, I don't know about that yet, but I mean, Shipley is such a welcoming community and did so much things for me and really helped me like with my career and I'm kind of the person I am today because of Shipley. So it was a super easy transition to go back and kind of take more of a leadership role now and start working with my once teachers, now colleagues. The community is just so great, and it's been so fun, and working with coaches that coached me. It's been super rewarding.
Let's let's go back to your time as an athlete at Chipley. You mentioned soccer and basketball, and I think you're coaching
Yeah.
those now too, right? Um, Can you, have you had any moments now in your position as coach or athletic coordinator that, for lack of a better word, it's kind of an aha moment or a deja vu moment that something back in your high school playing days, your coaches said to you, and now you're saying those same things to your student athletes? Anything like that happen?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it was really interesting because when I was playing at Shipley, our basketball team was like we were like top 10 in the country. We had about 7, 8 D1 recruits coming out of our school. So that my coach Sean Costello really set like a college tone, I would say. And it was hard for me because I was a good basketball player, but I was like sixth, seventh man coming off the bench playing a couple minutes, and I was like, "What the heck is this?" But we were so good. So I think going from that journey and what I always preach to my kids is that high school sports was really hard for me because we were really good and I was a good player, but I wasn't playing that much. And so I think that the journey of the mental aspect of playing at such a high level, like calibers of these teams and fighting for minutes, I think that I really needed some like a mentor and a role model to help me guide me through that. So I really try to be that person for our student athletes and give them someone to be able to talk to and that kind of stuff. So I think honestly, like seeing students now kind of go through the hardships of what high school athletics is about is a really aha moment for me because I was just in their position and right then and there it seems like it's the end of the world. But 10 years now later, I kind of look back and just having someone that they can talk to and explain what's going on and just giving them more of a peace of mind and honestly giving them confidence because that's what I needed when I was their age. I just needed more confidence. So really being a role model for them, I think that's the biggest thing I look back to. And I see myself in them and just want to make sure that they get the best experience possible.
Absolutely. Spoken like a true coach. Okay. For our listeners, our guest today is Liz Denbigh. She's about to be a registered athletic administrator. She's the athletic coordinator at the Shipley School in Philadelphia. We're going to take our first break, but we're coming back with some more. This is the Educational AD Podcast. We want to say thanks to Home Campus for their support. Home Campus is the exclusive high school and state association information platform for the podcast. It's also your one stop for scheduling, for student athlete eligibility and clearance, and a whole lot more. As an athletic director, I used Home Campus every single day and it was just fantastic. And the Home Campus team was fantastic too. To find out what they can do for you and your program, all you have to do is go to homecampus.com. That's homecampus.com. We also want to say thanks to Gipper. Go to gipper.com and let their professionals help you create custom content for your school social media channel in seconds. You can celebrate your athletes, promote your teams, promote your program, mention the podcast, you'll get a nice discount. That's gipper.com. Start creating custom content for your school's social media channel. Welcome back, everyone, to the Educational AD Podcast. Our guest today is Liz Denbigh. She's the athletic coordinator at the Shipley School in Philadelphia. Liz, you kind of shared a little bit about how you got back to Shipley, where you went to school after college, and now you've been there for a couple of years. Take us through that journey from, that first day back, boots on the ground, wide-eyed, brand new, to now. What changes have you seen maybe in yourself during that time?
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's a great question. So it's interesting. I actually started 2020, July 2020. So coming right off of COVID. So interesting time to start in athletics, where there's no sports competition. Everyone has to stay 6 feet apart. So it's a really interesting way to kind of start. When I got in, they had me teach PE because there was no competitions for me to confirm to schedule. So I started teaching PE pretty much from 8 to 3 o'clock. And it was all 6 feet apart. It was really interesting. Had never taught a class in my life, but kind of took it as a coaching role and just went full steam ahead. Honestly, it was an amazing experience to teach PE at first because I really got to know those kids and from all different grades. I was teaching 7th and 9th through 12th. So I really got to learn the community from when I was a student to now more of a teacher role. So it was a really, really great experience. Coming in from right around December is when we started to try to roll in some more of the spring sports. So I really kind of got to dive in there more of my now athletic administration role. And really it was about learning the systems, learning how Shipley handles their confirmations and scheduling. I do all the transportation at Shipley. And my biggest advice with that kind of stuff is I said yes to everything. I was doing anything I could to help the athletic department right away. I took on the social media, where now that's pretty much 50% of my job, where I run all of Shipley's athletic social media. I need to check out your Gipper. That sounded pretty cool. That seems like it would help me a lot. Um, so I think right in the beginning I said yes to doing whatever. If it was teaching, if it was folding uniforms, I was doing everything I can, which has really, really shaped my job, I would say now. And I'm doing a lot more of the athletic admin, which has been amazing, and which is what has really wanted me to explore becoming an athletic director.
You mentioned jumping right in. Looking back, what were some things that initially, you might have said, I know you said yes to everything, but if there was something that you might have said no to,
No.
um, you know, how long did it take you to say yes to that? Anything stick out for you?
Oh man. I think in the beginning, I mean, I always tell Shipley like I could single-handedly ruin a game competition if I mess up at all. And I think in the beginning I was really nervous because it is a lot of pressure, and I was single-handedly at some points had no athletic experience right away. It was COVID, it was all hands on deck, and I was running the day-to-day operations with no experience. And so I was pretty scared at first, but I had such amazing mentors, such amazing our athletic director then, who is the associate AD currently, she was interim, um, kind of just said, "Yeah, you got it," and really trusted me. Which I always say, if I didn't have those 6 to 8 months of me basically having no choice to not make a mistake, I wouldn't be where I am. I didn't have a choice, and I was nervous, but it really got me to where I am today, to make sure that everything runs smoothly.
Well, you mentioned mentors, and we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to hear about some of those mentors that helped you along the way. So, for our listeners, we're visiting today with Liz Denbigh. She's the athletic coordinator, also a coach at the Shipley School in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So, please stay with us. This is the Educational AD Podcast. We want to thank Huddle for their support of the podcast. Go to huddle.com and change the way you see the game. As a football coach, I used Huddle for years, but when I became an athletic director, I made sure our school was a Huddle school. And our coaches just loved the tools that Huddle provided that helped them coach our kids to the highest level. Go to huddle.com and see why we believe in sports and teams believe in Huddle. Join the 6 million users and turn your school into a Huddle school. We also want to thank Vital Signs Wall of Fame. They're on a mission to bring your school's legacy to life. If you're looking for a really cool way to display your school's record boards or your school's Hall of Fame, check out their interactive, active touchscreen video consoles. It's a great way to recognize your school's diverse history, your proudest moments, and your top role models. Mention the podcast, you'll get a nice discount from them too. That's vitalsignswalloffame.com.
Jake, Shipley is a big Huddle school. I'm super excited for that. Yeah, we just got the big field cameras for our soccer teams, so I can't wait. I was so excited.
Yeah, we did the same thing at my school when I was an AD. Had the camera on our main field for football and soccer and lacrosse. We also had the camera in our gym, and the coaches just loved it. You guys are going to love it too. Okay, thanks for that shout out. I know our friends at Huddle will appreciate that. Liz, you mentioned in the previous segment you had some good mentors, and I think all of us do. None of us get to where we're at on our own. So go ahead and share. Who are some of the people that have impacted your career to this point?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And there's so many, but honestly, first and foremost, both my parents have their own businesses that successful businesses that they've been running since they were in their 20s. So I think starting from the beginning, my motivation and hard work 100% comes from them. Um, but they only know so much about sports and athletics. But I would say one of my biggest mentors was my high school basketball coach. His name's Sean Costello. He is the reason I got the job at Shipley, and kind of brought me in with coaching basketball. He really gave me a lot of the skill sets to be a good coach and put me in situations that I was uncomfortable at first, but really helped me with my confidence throughout my career. And I talk to him all the time. He's the AD at the Hunt School, and has been just such an amazing mentor throughout my career. He coached college basketball. He's super well rounded, and he's amazing. Um, Secondly, I think at Shipley, my biggest mentor is our current associate AD at Shipley. Her name's Caitlin Taylor. She's been at Shipley, I think, for 17 years. She was my assistant soccer coach. And she's really showed me the ropes and given me amazing opportunities at Shipley, to succeed, and has given me those skill sets to one day be an athletic director. And I always tell her she's the glue to our athletic department, and has really motivated me and taught me so much. And of course, our AD at Shipley, this is going to be his third year. His name's Justin Cooper. He's been an AD for a long time, and he's really helped guide me these couple last 2 or 3 years, to get me up to. He's helped promote me, and really has given me a lot of skill sets for me when I want to become an AD. So I really appreciate all of them.
Oh no, absolutely. And again, I'd love to hear the stories about how individuals have impacted all of us. Um, you've been there now for a couple of years.
Mhm.
Do you, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot here with a little ambush question here, but uh, obviously the job has grown with you. Do you see yourself, staying at Shipley for the next 35 years? Are you looking to, maybe move to another school and be the AD behind the desk? What are your thoughts at this point in your career?
That's a really good question. One thing that Shipley has been so amazing about is that I'm very what's next, on the go, on the go. I just finished my master's, then I'm like right to the RAA, CAA. So a big thing with me is that like I want the ability to grow in my position. And I've had super honest conversations with Justin, with the admin at Shipley, just to ask like, is it possible to grow? And they have been so phenomenal and have opened so many doorways for me. With whether it being social media, I help with the admissions at Shipley now. So they've really allowed me to grow, which is so phenomenal. And I mean, I went there, so it's such a great place. I'm comfortable there. I mean, you never know what happened. I I would I want to be an AD eventually. I'm only 27, so I still have a couple more years. And Shipley's been so great to allowing me to grow. So for right now, I'm staying at Shipley. No plans to move on. But they've been so amazing with allowing me to grow my skill set to one day become an AD. So
That
we'll
that
see.
is great to hear. And again, it's not a must that you move on and you go to another school, but it's great that they have been so supportive of you, and it's great that you're already to a degree mapping out your professional development. And we're going to talk about that journey here in our next segment. So let's go and take another quick break. Again, for our listeners, our guest today is Liz Denbigh. She's the athletic coordinator and coach at the Shipley School in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So let's take that break. We'll be back with some more. This is the Educational AD Podcast. We want to thank Hometown Ticketing for their support of the podcast. Hometown is digital ticketing that offers more support, more security, more customization. You're going to find it at Hometown Ticketing. Go to hometownticketing.com. They're going to show you how to set up and sell your tickets online, not just for your athletic events, but things like school plays, concerts, school dances, even graduation. They'll show you how to scan the attendees that come to your events and collect your revenue. And every step of the way, you will have a dedicated client success manager that's providing hands-on support. That's every step of the way. Go to hometownticketing.com and make the best solution for online ticketing. That's hometownticketing.com. We also want to say thanks to Sideline Interactive, indoor score tables and video boards. Go to sidelineinteractive.com and schedule a live web demo and see their tables and their scoreboards in action. Probably one of the best purchases I ever made as an AD was our Sideline Interactive indoor score table. Just fantastic. Of course, we use it for home games, but we also use it for pep rallies, for signing ceremonies. It's tremendously versatile, and the customer service is just outstanding. Go to sidelineinteractive.com. Check out their products today. That's sidelineinteractive.com. Welcome back, everyone, to the Educational AD Podcast. Liz, you and I were talking during the break, and you've been at the Shipley School now for this. I think you said this was your 4th year, and you're kind of at the beginning of your journey with our national organization, probably with your state association as well. But we like to share those journeys because we have listeners just like you that might not have started their NIAAA LTI work. So talk a little bit about that. How'd you get involved at the state level? How'd you get involved starting with those LTI courses?
Yeah, absolutely. So it was interesting. I was at first, when I was really starting my professional development kind of stage of my life, I was thinking of mastering in athletic admin. But I actually chose the road different road and kind of did I graduated St. Bonaventure University just in May with strategic leadership, which is really similar. And during that time, I knew I still wanted something with athletics, so I kind of found the NIAA, and my boss has his RAA, and a lot of the athletic directors that I'm in communication with all the time kind of has it. So I kind of stumbled upon it and really I knew as soon as I finished my master's, I wanted to get that certification. So I finished in May. I talked with Shipley. Shipley has been amazing in supporting my professional development, and so I got signed up. Just finished the RAA classes, which were so amazing. I loved hearing the stories of the professors that are teaching and from the other athletic directors, and you really learn a lot just hearing their stories. It's also amazing that the classes are online now, so that has been super accessible and great. Yeah, and as soon as I get my RA, I'm gonna try to go right for the CAA and start studying for the exam, which I'm super excited for. I think it's super beneficial. It looks great for our athletic department in our school that we have qualified athletic admins. So it's been an amazing program, and I couldn't recommend it enough.
So I was going to ask you if you had taken the courses online or if you had taken them, in person. For those people who have not taken the online program or taken a course online, kind of walk through them. How hard was it?
No, it was really it was great. My master's was completely online, so I was kind of still in the school mode, which was great. But yeah, for the RA, you had to do 3 courses. It's basically they video the conference, which is so phenomenal because you kind of feel like you're there, you're not missing anything. That's what I was a little nervous about. I wanted to make sure that I got the full experience, and I mean they did such a great job. Yeah, the courses are about 4 hours each. You watch it, they give you a little pop quiz to make sure you're paying attention, which I appreciated. But no, I learned so much. I took notes, printed out the PowerPoints, and kind of just followed along. So yeah, I'm ready to start those next 2 classes and get studying for the CAA exam.
As you continue to take those courses, I'll give a shout out. I teach 3 of the courses. One of them I was on the video of the 700 class, the middle school philosophy, and it was kind of unnerving at first to watch that and see yourself teaching. But the rest of the staff did a pretty good job. I was okay, but you're right. They have done a very, very good job of putting the content together for all the courses. Now, every single one of the courses in the NIAAA catalog is now available online. So very cool. Good for you. Liz, we're going to do this at the end of the podcast, but if one of our listeners wanted to reach out and add you to their network or even pick your brain a little bit, what's the best way that they can get a hold of you?
Yeah, absolutely. All my information's on Shipley's website. So I'll drop my email in there. Another way, always connect with me on LinkedIn. That's how we met. I'm always scrolling through LinkedIn and trying to meet new people and learn from other one's experiences. So my LinkedIn's at Elizabeth Denby. And then on Shipley's Instagram, I'd love to get more followers. We do such great stuff at Shipley, and I think people can learn a lot from us. See our athletics. We have so many programs with so many amazing kids. So our Shipley Athletics Instagram is just at Shipley Athletics, and you can
Okay,
follow along.
at Shipley Athletics. That's the
Yep.
Instagram. Is that Twitter also?
Twitter's Shipley Sports
Okay. All
at
right.
Shipley Sports. Yep.
All right. We'll give those out again at the end of the podcast. But our listeners, for our listeners, our guest today is Liz Denbigh, athletic coordinator at the Shipley School in Philadelphia. We're going to take another break. I know that's shocking to our regular listeners, but want to give our sponsors their shout out. Please stay with us. This is the Educational AD Podcast. We want to say thanks to our good friends at District One. That's District WON. And you're going to feel like you've won when you check out their custom uniforms, their on time delivery, 20 business days or less, and their one at a time replacement program. You'll never have to order a full set of uniforms when you just need to replace one or two. Go to District One, click on the Team Gear button, and get your free quote. That's district1.com. We also want to say thanks to our good friends at Snap Mobile. Go to snapraise.com. That's snapraise.com. Check out their entire suite of platforms designed to help you as an athletic director do your job better. If you're looking for a fundraising platform, stop. SnapRaise is the best, hands down. We used it at my school. It was great. They even have a program where they'll give you your funding before you actually do your fundraiser. Nobody else offers that. But you also have Snap Store, Snap Manage, Snap Connect, and more. You'll find them all at snapraise.com. Check them out today. Welcome back, everyone, to the Educational AD Podcast. Liz, you and I were talking during the break, and you've got something that you're very passionate about. And I think it'd be great to share that with the listeners. So go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. No, so after my ACL injury right after college, I think something that really hit me was that sports were kind of my life and my identity. That's what I associated myself with. That's where all my friends did. After college, that's how I made all my friends in Philadelphia. So playing basketball, playing soccer all the time, when that was instantly gone, I was pretty lost. It was mentally tough. I wasn't able to do the things that made me happy. So kind of finding a new avenue was something that was really difficult. But I always say tearing my ACL was a terrible thing to happen to me, but honestly, it was one of the best things that happened to me. It really made me grow up. It made me be more independent and made me learn to love new things. And now with these high school athletes, we're seeing these ACL injuries so much more. We're seeing concussions so much more. And for these kids that play travel, play high school, and then instantly it's all gone and you're out for a whole season, or you're out for a whole year. It can be really tough and balancing that with academics. I think it's something I'm super passionate. Our athletic training staff at Shipley is so phenomenal. Kim Whelan and Dr. Stacy Vallone. Kim has been there for, oh my gosh, I think 15, 17 years. She was my athletic trainer. And Stacy's been there for about 3 or 4 years now and is currently with the USA soccer team. So much experience and working with them to help these students not only get back on the field or on the court physically, but mentally kind of get there is something that I'm so passionate about, and work with our counselors and work with our school psychologists and our trainers just to help these kids kind of be like, you're more than just an athlete, you're a student, you do these great things. It's something I'm super passionate about and something that Shipley really focuses on, and individual well-being with team well-being. It's something that's really great and something that I think our kids have benefited a lot from.
Now, I am going to put you on the spot with this next question. You graduated from Shipley, you went off to college, now you've been back. Um, from your perspective as a former student athlete to now, almost, 10 years, is Shipley doing a better job? Are are we doing a better job in this area of, helping grow women in sport?
Yeah, that's amazing. I 100% do. I think women's sports at Shipley is super important. It's prioritized. We've really tried to showcase all of our sports. It's not just about gender, and we really are equitable with our finances, our field spaces, everything. It's super considered, and it's Shipley does such a great job. One thing that's really cool that Shipley does is we have this one massive event. We call it Super Saturday, and each year there's an under the light showcase. And some might say like, oh, boys soccer should be like some under just be under the lights. That's what the kids want to see. At Shipley, our community wants the different sports. They want the girls soccer team. They want the field hockey team to have a chance, the volleyball team to have a chance to be that showcase team. So it's not even just our athletics department. I think it's our community that really values women's sports, and it's so important to me, and something that I'm super passionate about. And we just have such a great team and community that really prioritizes it.
Yeah, I really am glad that we were able to connect. And for our listeners, this came together very quickly. We had Elizabeth scheduled for about a month from now, and we had a couple of reschedules, and she very graciously agreed to come on. We're actually recording this Wednesday evening, so it's going to be very timely by the time you listen to it. I wish we had time to do some more, but we're not done yet. We always wrap up with the athletic director's toolbox. Now, you've been on the job for a while, but I still think you know your way around the world of athletics a little bit. So we're going to take our final break, hear from Athletic Surveys. And when we come back, I'm going to challenge Liz to send out a brand new athletic director on their very first job. And I'm only going to let her put 3 things in the toolbox. So please stay with us. We're going to find out what Liz Denbigh is going to put in her new athletic director toolbox. We want to say thanks to Athletic Surveys for their support of the podcast. Athletic Surveys are a quick, easy, and affordable way for you to collect comprehensive data that allows you to evaluate and improve your entire program. Athletic directors usually only hear from the complainers, the 2% that want to gripe about everything. Athletic Surveys will connect you with that 2%, but they're also going to connect you with the 98% that love and support your program. And that's a tremendously valuable tool to have when you're talking to that frustrated parent or your principal or your school board. Go to athleticsurveys.com. They're going to create a custom survey that'll let you take the pulse of your parents or your student athletes. That's athleticsurveys.com. Check them out today. Well, it's that time of the podcast. We've been visiting today with Liz Denbigh. She's the athletic coordinator at the Shipley School in Philadelphia. She's been on the job for a few years, but still, at the beginning of her athletic director journey. At the same time, she knows her way around the world of athletics. So right now, I'm going to challenge her to send out a brand new athletic director on the very first job, but I'm only going to let her put 3 things in the toolbox. So Liz, what 3 items are going to go into your new athletic director toolbox?
Yeah, no, I think this is such an amazing question. I would say my first tool, in no specific order, would be to really be involved in the community. I think one reason why people want to get into athletics is as much fun as booking buses and booking vans and talking to assigners. It's really about the student athletes and the students at the school, and being involved with them as much as you can. So I think being involved in the community, being present for the student athletes, being president, just I go to our musical. I try to help out with, we have something called the Blooms Crew where we plant flowers around the school. So not just only doing athletic things, and really seeing the kids outside of the field, I think is super important and has really helped me connect and network with new people. Number 2, I would say, is for me specifically, was to be kind of a lifelong learner. Throughout my mentors and just so many people around Shipley and outside of school, I talked to so many athletic directors around our area that have been so kind and have really offered me advice and have helped me out when I make a mistake or schedule a game the wrong day. So really always being open to learn and to continue to do professional development, continue to do your LTIs, continue to I never want to settle. I always want to keep learning. I always want to do as much as I can. Um, Finally, my third one, like you said, there's so many. I think within my specific job, is communication and team culture. I think one thing that I'm super, super passionate about is that if you're not happy in an environment, no matter if you're an adult or a kid, and you don't feel comfortable, that it's going to be really hard to succeed. So creating team culture, creating working with people daily to be kind is super, super important. And I think that that's one way why I've kind of have been able to get to the path where I'm at right now is creating an environment where all kind of feel like they can thrive. And I think that's something that Shipley's really instilled in me. So I would say those three things.
Well, yeah, you probably saw me scribbling those down as you're going, so I can add them to my toolbox here. Liz Denbigh, thanks so much for coming on with us. Thanks so much for coming on just very short notice, and all the best moving forward. One more time, if one of our listeners wants to reach out, add you to their network, or just find out how you do things at the Shipley School, what's the best way they can get a hold of you?
Yeah, absolutely. First, LinkedIn. It's Elizabeth Denbigh. Love to connect with anybody and learn more, especially people that are doing their RAA trainings. Love to connect with people and hear what they've got going on. My Twitter is at Liz Denbigh 10. I'm constantly on that, constantly tweeting, posting things about Shipley, which is amazing. For Shipley, please follow Shipley Athletics. We've really started focusing on social media, and great things are going to come. And our Twitter for Shipley's at Shipley Sports. So would love to connect with all of your listeners. And thank you so much for having me. It's been so amazing.
Oh, right back at you. Thanks for being on. Looking forward to continuing to network with you. And of course, we'll see you down in Orlando for the
Yes.
NADC conference. Okay. For our listeners, we do this just about every day, and we upload the Zoom videos to the Educational AD Podcast YouTube channel. We appreciate you listening to this one. Come back next week for another great interview, and just about every day for new content on the Educational AD Podcast. We'll see you next time.